Hi, I'm Sam, and I'm the founder of Simply Clutter-Free. I started this channel because I want to help you. I want to help you go from an overwhelming, cluttered home to living a simpler life where you can focus your time and energy on doing the things that you want to do. I know that there's probably hobbies or activities or other things you'd like to do with your time that doesn't involve spending 8 hours on Saturdays cleaning, organizing, and reorganizing your storage bins. There is more to life than your stuff. And I have learned that the hard way. I was the daughter of a hoarder, so I already came into my adulthood with a distorted idea of stuff and love, and growing up with a parent that loved their stuff more than their children was a difficult trauma to go through. And then I spent my 20s just compulsively buying everything because I had always been told no as a child. So finally I could buy my own things, right? So I bought myself things, I bought my kids everything I never had. I was a big gift giver. I love to give, the most expensive gift I could get for somebody. And that lifestyle quickly became very draining. Buying all that stuff didn't make me happy. It didn't drastically augment the happiness of the people around me, the fact that I was buying them all sorts of gifts, because most people know that stuff doesn't equal love, right? And that the better the gift you give someone, it doesn't mean that you love them more, right? So I had to go through a lot of decluttering and processing all of that before I had that aha moment. I learned about minimalism first in 2016 through the Minimalists documentary. And so I understood the idea of living with less, but I didn't necessarily know how to get there. I was spending, you know, all of this time decluttering, but then I was buying again. So I was in this cycle of buy, declutter, and I was making no real progress, and I was feeling really frustrated and overwhelmed, and I just didn't know how to get out of the rut I was in. And that aha moment came when I realized, wait a minute, something that flew over my head in this whole minimalism process is that I can't keep buying more stuff. I can't declutter one week and then have a shopping haul the next week. That makes no sense whatsoever. It doesn't get me any further on my goals. So when I paused buying stuff and bringing in more and shopping and all of that, I was able to make a lot more progress on my decluttering goals. And in fact, in the end, and I'm still decluttering, we still have more to do here. But in the end, at this point anyway, I'm at 8,500 items that I've decluttered. So the total inventory in my home has been reduced by 8,500 things. And I know that sounds mind-boggling, but the average American home has 300,000 items in it. And that's just an average home. That's not a hoarder's home like my mother's home. That's a typical American or a typical Canadian as well. We live similar lifestyles of just living in excess, a lot of consumption, a lot of fast fashion, all of those sorts of things. So when I paused things coming in and focused on getting things out, then I saw a lot of changes in my home where things were simplified. I had the opportunity to breathe and relax in my own home finally because there wasn't that constant monkey on my back of, oh, you need to clean up, you need to tidy, you need to organize, you need to reorganize, you need to get all the bins, in a better organization system. Because you can't organize clutter. I ultimately realized that. If you're just spending your weekends, labeling bins and putting crap in it that you don't care about, you're wasting your life. And I didn't want to waste my life anymore. So I started this channel because I thought, okay, I can't be the only one that has gotten to 40 years old and is just in the last few years realizing that I don't need to own all this stuff, right? I want to share that with you, and I want to share my journey with you. And hopefully, along the way, you can learn from me some of the tips and tricks I've picked up through this process in the last few years. It's been a lot of hard work, it's been hours of work on my part, but it's been worth it. I I can finally breathe in my home. It's not a source of stress for me anymore. I'm a working mom, so I worked 40 hours a week and then I spent another 8 hours on my home, minimum on the weekends. That's no way to live. And that's not the way I wanted to live anymore. So I'm hoping that as I share my journey, you'll also share with me and we can move along on this process together and learn from each other. I'm sure some of you have tips and tricks for me as well. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing where we can go with this. I my life has already drastically improved with minimalism and decluttering, and I'm really hoping that that can happen for you as well, if that's what you're looking for. So that's a bit of my backstory. And if you have any questions for me in the comments, please let me know. But here I am, from hoarder's daughter to minimalist to decluttering expert. That's my story, and I'm so glad you're here to join me on this journey. I would like to say a huge thank you to Tim from the New Retired Me YouTube channel. I'll link it below. He just held a competition recently where new YouTubers could apply to win a grant, and he was the organizer and the person who did all of this out of his own pocket. And I was super pleasantly surprised and shocked to be one of the winners. So thank you so much, Tim. I'm really looking forward to growing my channel and I'm really appreciative of your support. And thank you to your community for welcoming me as well with open arms. I am so happy and grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know in the comments what you're decluttering today.